So the individual we're going to talk about today is Boyce Watkins. Let's give a round of applause to Boyce Watkins. Now, with Boyce Watkins, the so-called doctor, there's no actual documentation and proof that Boyce Watkins is a doctor. And I don't believe there's any proof that he's a doctor. Where did he go to school at? Where did he go to school at? Syracuse University. He spent a year at the University of Rochester. They eventually transferred to Ohio State to finish his PhD. Oh, has not ever provided specifics about the subject his apparent PhD is actually in. So we don't know what his PhD is actually in, which is shady, don't you think? In the year it was granted and is not listed on his public LinkedIn profile that he has completed a PhD. So there's no proof that he's a PhD. He's just saying that he's a doctor. It is completely unverified publicly that said PhD even exists, despite the fact that Boyce publicly advertises himself as a doctor. So this man right here, Boyce Watkins, isn't actually a doctor per the documents on Wikipedia. But there's no, I mean, he doesn't even list it on his public LinkedIn profile. Let's see. Let's see on his profile. Is this Dr. Boyce Watkins? I don't believe so. There is Boyce Watkins. Here it is. Okay. Activity, experience, education, Ohio State University, PhD, finance, 2002. But we don't know what the subject is. It's finance, actually. PhD in finance, but what's the background to that? Exactly, Ohio State University to finish PhD. But he actually has a PhD in finance, but I don't believe that's actually giving us the full details. It's completely unverified publicly that said PhD degree even exists. So I mean, the man is a fraud. I mean, look, he's defending Sean King. He was defending Sean King and saying that Sean King, he was calling Sean King a brother, which is, speak for black. He's a black man, but he's not. Sean King is a white man with two white parents. Just look at his parents. His parents, Kay King, was a white woman, and his dad was also a white man. So, yeah, I mean, he's not black. He's white, which is fine, but he's masquerading as black. Why do you think it's so important to tell folks we had a conversation? Well, we talked and everything that was said was very toxic and uncomfortable for me to hear. That you raised additional money and then did say you did not want to bother me. Personally, I don't understand how you sleep at night. I never gave you permission to raise nothing. So Sean King was raising money over the death of Tamir Rice, trying to publicly profit. And then if you look at Sean King, his own house. Apparently, he has an 842,000 apartment now, home. I mean, 842,000 home, and he made that money off of the bodies of dead black people. And Boyce Watkins is, he's basically defending Sean King, which is hard to hear, because Boyce is supposed to be the voice of reason.
And so we're going to have an intelligent black Kings trended on Twitter. Give me a yes if you saw that, a no if you didn't, and then and stuff like that. Okay, so the next question that I want to ask you is this, and this is an interesting experiment. We did an experiment on my Twitter. Now, why do I ask you that question? Well, our producer told me, but then again, though, that does not in any way, I understand if you don't want to talk to me or you think I'm an asshole, that's okay. Well, he's giving away that money because he's a dog, and because he they might say, well, he
He's basically just double talking around the situation, not really giving us an accurate description of how he feels about the whole thing, which is what Boyce is known for. He's trying to use intellectually big words so that he can hide the way he's talking. But we both know what he's saying here. He wants to keep the hustle going. He wants to keep the perpetual victimhood going, because if if he doesn't have all those things to talk about, Boyce Watkins right here, then he will lose a lot of money, because he has a lot of money invested in keeping black people down. And his business school, his so-called business school stuff, I mean, his so-called business school things are, let's see his website. Your Black. What's his website called? Okay, the Black Business School. And he's selling products, books, films, how to invest in the stock market, okay, and then how much does this course cost? If I wanted to enroll, $89 a month. For lifetime access, $1,299. First 30 days for $1, $89 a month. $89 a month just for some advice from Dr. Boyce Watkins. Now, what kind of how all the students in the program have access to a secret blog hosted by Dr. Watkins. On this video blog, you are able to leave your questions, and Dr. Watkins will answer your questions within 3 to 4 days. So I'm paying $89 a month. Yeah, why is it better? What did she say? Whatever, man. $89 a month. This program goes on forever. So rather than simply sending you on your merry way after a few weeks, we allowed to continue to be mentored for by Dr. Watkins for years at a time. But his own education is not even verified. Dr. Boyce Watkins' education isn't even verified. Apparently, he's not even a doctor. People say that he's not even a doctor. You know, and he was working with the white man to try and scam black people. I mean, he takes advantage of people's desperate situations that are felons so that he can, make money and profit off of that, which is, how people are nowadays. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about Dr.